Hello and welcome to the Home Screen Podcast. This is episode 7. Today I'm joined by Seth.
Hello, my name is Seth Olsen. I am a first assistant director / writer who is currently chilling in life.
Nice. I'm glad to hear you're chilling in life. So I've known you for 9 years now.
Have we?
Yeah.
I've only hated you for 6.
Thank you. That's
You're
very,
welcome.
very kind of you. And in that time, knowing you, you've always been trying to get me to watch the film 12 Angry Men.
Yeah, because it's a bona fide classic.
And
every single time you were like, oh no, I like films made after 2000.
Listen, I also like some more classical films. I've always put off watching it.
Can I ask you, as a genuine question, why did you... Was it the fact that it was black and white?
I can watch black and white films.
Because I know you don't really watch black and white films.
I think that's a misconception.
I've looked at your letterbox and there is no black and white films on there.
No, letterbox is everything I've watched from 2020 onwards. I have seen black and white films.
You've not watched a black and white film for 4 years?
So The Lighthouse.
It counts.
Anyway, I just put off watching it. I don't know why. Partially, I think maybe to annoy you, but also just after hearing you talk about it for so long, I've been like, oh, I'll get round to it.
So what did you think in the end?
And I hate to admit it, but it is a masterpiece of a film.
Wonderful.
So there we go. That's it. Podcast over. If you like this, please.
Thank you. Please subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe.
So, on a more serious note, this will be a bit more of a discussion, but because you are the aficionado of 12 Angry Men, I'd like to hear your thoughts. So, why do you like this so much, and why did it get the spot of probably your favourite film, and why has it remained up there?
The reason why I think this is one of, if not the best movies ever made, is the fact that you can identify with every single character in that room. Like, they're all an archetype of someone that you have met in real life.
True.
So you're like, oh no, I know someone who, they're just really angry. Someone who just doesn't want to do anything, just wants to leave. Like an old person. Like you know, like old people and how they sort of react.
Yeah.
It's sort of a tale all about conceptions and prejudice and how sometimes you're just so focused on one thing that you can't see anything else around it. And it's the point where if you take a step back, like only one of the jurors does take a step back and you're like, okay.
Which one was that again?
Number 8, Henry Fonda. He'd take a step back and he looks and he goes, oh, actually, no, this doesn't make sense. Because when you look at it as a whole, the argument just falls apart.
Yeah.
I guess for those at home who haven't seen it, the basic premise of 12 Angry Men is that a boy who's killed his father and 12 jurors have been selected to be on his trial. And they all think he's guilty, apart from one guy. See, it's not the fact that if he's guilty or not, that's not the story.
Yeah.
It's the fact that if there is reasonable doubt, which I feel like is lost in a lot of films, like trial films. It's all about whether they are guilty or not. Yeah. When the point of the trial is if there's reasonable doubt. As it's proven in the film. Spoiler alert. There is reasonable doubt. Plus, I will say, Sidney Lumet, who's the guy that directed this, oh my god, there's like 2 rooms in the entire thing.
Yeah.
There's like a bathroom where they're in it for like about 5 minutes.
There's only one scene in the bathroom, isn't it? It's when he goes in with the baseball guy.
Yeah, no, I think there is only one scene. There's like a courtroom where they're in it for the first 5 minutes, a bathroom, and then it's just one room that really isn't that big.
Yeah.
And the film is like an hour and 40, so you probably spend like an hour and 30 in here.
Yeah.
And it does not drag at all.
No.
It's so streamlined.
And the main guy who, I forget the guy's name. Henry Fonda. His performance is, of course it's incredible, but he really drives the pace forward, and especially like...
I'm going to say he's not my favourite character in it. It's an incredible performance. It's one of Henry Fonda's best performances. However, L.J. Cobb, who plays number 3, who is the last guy to vote not guilty, spoiler alert, his acting is so good.
Yeah.
Like, the bit where he breaks down at the end because the whole point is that he's no longer in contact with his child because he tried to make a man out of him and it's turned it against him. And he just, like, rips up the photo in rage and then just starts crying. Like, that I think the first time I watched that broke me and I cried.
Yeah, I was welling up a bit emotionally with that too, and I think it is. This is like quite generally speaking. It does feel very much like a stage play, but also the way that information is conveyed. I feel like nowadays, a film like this, broadly speaking, the thing it does well is it really is show not tell. Whereas I feel like a modern adaptation, or if this was to be released nowadays, would explicitly say you're a racist, or you're just not voting guilty because of your severed connection with your son and things like that. Whereas it really does a good job of showing not telling, which is really good.
When did it grip you? Because when you first watch it, like the first act of the play is purposefully quite slow, and it's like introducing all the characters. And I could see you like typing a little bit on your phone, sending messages, and I was like, oh, just you wait. I mean, and then we got to like the end bit, and you were just like, you put your phone down, and I was like, that's a good. That's how I know that Josh was hooked. He put his phone down.
No, yeah, I mean I think the obvious turning point for a lot of people is when he gets out the second knife.
Oh, the second knife's wonderful.
For a lot of people, that's like the thing, because he's just, that's when you're like, actually, he's on something. For me, yeah, like, is it Henry Fonda?
Yeah.
Anytime he starts a new thought experiment or presents a new potential piece of evidence, it was literally like, oh boy, here we go, because you know it's going to be like a 5 to 10 minute breakdown of, but in like a really well thought through way, almost like in a detective way. Like the first one with him talking about the train carriage, I think it was.
The L tracks, yeah.
The L tracks, and then measuring out the room of how long it would have taken the old man downstairs to walk with a dragged leg. Yeah, anytime he really drove the plot forward. And it's
that's the whole point of his character is just to...
Yeah.
But then, like, as you get on and he gets more people on his side...
It snowballs.
It snowballs, and everybody else is like, wait, no, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like Piglet, the number 2, I can't remember his name, but he voiced Piglet in real life. He's the guy that, like, saves the entire day, because he's, like, starts talking about his glasses, and then the old man is like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait a second, you got glasses.
Yeah,
the old man's great. He's so wonderful.
I think my favourite juror, I mean, the Piglet is great. Well, they've all got interesting qualities. I think I said to you, my favourite juror was, I think, is it 4?
It is. Is he the one who's
the
just
second to last to turn?
Oh, the one that's like really methodical.
He's very methodical.
He's great because he's like doesn't really get angry.
Yeah.
He's like the only one that doesn't, and his whole thing is like, these are the facts. I'm a stockbroker. I deal in facts.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he's proved wrong, it's like, yeah, okay, I see it.
It's also worth mentioning before I forget that the cinematography is great.
Oh, wonderful! I love how like it's so lofty and like far back at the start, and then as the tension goes, you feel like the heat start to like get over. Everyone starts sweating constantly.
Yeah.
And then like it's so close. And to the end, it's like almost like takes up the entirety of the face in the shot.
Yeah, especially like when Juror 3 and Henry Fonda's character are having a back and forth. It literally goes from 2 shots and 3 shots to mids to close-ups to extreme close-ups with the tension. Yeah, it's so well done. And then, of course, probably the best shot is the slow zoom out when everyone it turns away from the racist juror.
Oh, that scene's beautiful.
That's such... At the time, I was like, what's going on here? And then it clicked, and I was like, oh, yeah, of course. Because I thought that...
It's very wisely done
Yeah.
in that the racism isn't steered for someone. Like, it's not like a particular race that it's done. It's like you see one shot of the boy, the entire thing. And that's where it is quite stage play, because you could literally swap out the boy for anyone.
Definitely.
And it changes. There's a remake in the 90s where they race change about half the cast.
Okay.
And the racist guy is played by a person of colour.
Right.
And it flips up on his head because he now hates... I think it's like they're going after like an Italian... like Do the Right Thing.
Yeah.
It's sort of like that sort of situation. That film's good, although they get like... He's called Jack Lemmon, who plays number 8 in the 90s version. And he's just too old.
Right.
They're like in their like early 70s.
So it's not as...
It's like, that's the only bit where it doesn't work.
Right.
But in some bits works better than others. Also, James Gandolfini from Tony Soprano is in it.
Yeah, that's crazy that
he plays, there's like that juror who, he's like a painter. He's just kind of quiet.
Well, he doesn't have much in it then, does he? Well, I guess this was before Sopranos, so he wouldn't have even...
Yeah, no, it's like one of his first roles.
Yeah.
He's the guy that goes up to number 8 in the bathroom and he goes, so you did do it?
Yeah.
Don't you suppose? And I love that scene. Because it's there's the look of Henry Fonda where you hold on him and he's like, yeah, he has fought like
Yeah.
What if I'm wrong?
Yeah, because he's constantly wrestling with it too, but he doesn't voice his thoughts against it. He just basically presents the argument. He's like, this is why you could not be guilty.
Well, because there is reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason why they're there, is to prove if there's reasonable doubt.
Mm.
And there is. But my favourite shot is the bit at the end where it's through the cupboard and you see, like, there's one jacket left.
Yeah.
And it's number 8 and number 3 and they own.
Yeah.
And number 3 is just, like, completely mentally broken. And number 8 simply just takes the coat off.
And helps it
on. And it's like that one shot. And,
it is really nice.
Because it shows that, like, the whole point of the film is anger.
Yeah.
Everyone gets angry in it. I don't think there's not one character who doesn't get angry, apart from maybe number 4, but even then he gets annoyed.
Or 12.
12 gets angry.
Does he?
He does. He gets his kind of angry is that he kind of retreats because he's kind of like he poses himself as like a big swanky money man, but he's really not. He's just flip flopping.
Right.
So he just gets kind of annoyed and he just like sort of retreats into himself and sees.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scene where like the anger's all gone, it's all out the room because it's ended and it's just instantly the anger's gone.
Yeah.
And you're just left with two just humans trying to connect.
Yeah, and there's so much that can be said about it, but it kind of is all a given, I think. The music is really nice and understated too.
So beautiful.
I think it's such a small orchestration. I think it's just like a small string and woodwind orchestra.
So, in conclusion, Reginald Rose, the writer of this, one of the best script writers out there. 12 Angry Men, beautiful, love the film, watch it. It's a play about humanity and anger. Thank you very much.
That's all we need to say. So, yeah, if you haven't, I mean, we've spoiled it, but I would still recommend that if you haven't seen it and you've listened to this, go and watch it anyways because... I knew the rough premise going into it, but I knew nothing about it, and I was still blown away. So I think it's a masterpiece. It's one of your favourite films of all time. So thanks for listening to this episode of the Home Screen Podcast. If you've enjoyed it, please follow and keep an eye on our social medias, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks.